that was still real. Them
So that's what
people,
I'm saying. You trying to say racism existed in history? Is what you're saying? Or
not,
colorism?
and yeah, because we
To an
want to be the
extent,
ones that
it ain't
knew
just
this.
pop up.
Yeah, we want to be the ones that knew this. They can't have knew this before we did.
Not even just that. Like I think that was the beginning of the adversarial on the intellectual level.
And that's why if you know that, well, I can't
Because
say
we
if
was
you know
already
that's
dealing
true,
with it on the physical. If
but
you seen how the albinos was treated.
but if you think about it, all we have is these statues of Aristotle, Socrates,
Yeah.
Hippocrates.
But for all we know, these people didn't exist. They might have just like, all right, we was taught this by these people, so we don't gotta say it was these people.
No, I think that they did exist. I think that Socrates, Hippocrates, all of them were cool with the Egyptian gods and the
I
Egyptians
think
that.
it's a possibility they existed, but I'm saying like, what if? What if, like, cause to me it would make more sense for them to make up some people that they got it from than to just try to ignore the fact that history is gonna show that y'all got it from somewhere. Especially if we can look over here and these people clearly
But
got.
how long did it take us to realize that? Oh, that really came from the Egyptians. It didn't come from them.
I think
The
certain people have
Egyptians just
always
taught
known,
them
and now
that.
we part of that people. Like I feel like there's always, like you always tell me, there's always been people that practice certain lifestyles. So there's always been people that knew this shit. I promise you. Just like you got people that hold on to all kind of
Yeah, it's
information,
always, and
and
melanated
now
people
here
has
it is.
always been lying dormant in us. We always knew these
Oh
things,
yeah,
even
yeah.
back then, like
Now I
in
feel
their
like as
time.
far as the dormant shit, now it has been an influx of motherfuckers who did wake up like in recent times, like from 2000 to now. But as far as like just knowing this information that's been passed down, because otherwise we wouldn't know it if somebody else didn't pass it down and knew it already. You see what
Yeah,
I'm
the
saying?
Greeks turned it into the European education.
Not even just that. Not even just that. Somebody like might have kept quiet about it. Just like you had African slaves that kept quiet about their language, but they still passed it down in different ways. And when they was freed, they started speaking that shit freely. So that
And
means they
that's why
just
they
kept
turned
quiet about
knowledge
it.
into magic and spells and
Yeah,
shit like that.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. That's what I'm
But
saying. They found different ways to practice it.
I am starting to believe, because I believe in Greek mythology, ancient Egyptian. I believe in all that shit. I believe that Hippocrates, Socrates, all of them walked this earth one day. I believe that Thor, Ptah, all of them walked this motherfucking earth. And I believe that they were not evil people. Like they, well, shit that they did and that they did, we would look at as appalling. I was watching another video like how Cleopatra killed all her siblings and all that shit. But in they time, whatever that her siblings did to her that made her kill them, she's a goddess. Like maybe they did something that was just like across the line. Death was the only punishment. But in they time, that was okay. In our time, we look at shit like that differently. It's different punishments now. You're not just gonna kill your brother for doing something.
Smash that
But
like button for me, family.
I believe that like Socrates, Hippocrates, them kind of people could have went to the ancient and got knowledge, and when they went back home, them other niggas killed them.
I felt
Like,
like they definitely did. But like I
y'all
said,
not about to come over here and
it was a
all
perfect
of us,
storm though.
tell all this other the Greek
This why they
civilians
killed them
that.
though. I feel like the reason why they killed them, it wasn't just because they told them they got it from the Egyptians. They killed them because that type of information will give you power instantly. To the point, if we don't know that shit and we the government or we the people ruling over these motherfuckers, you just instantly ruin the authority.
Yeah, the same reason why
The
they keep
same
the
way,
law of attraction from us all these years.
in the same way, like Harvard had so much money that the government made them give up the money because they had too much. They had more money than the American government. So they like, bro, if you wanted to, you could do X, Y, Z, but we're not gonna tell you that. We're just gonna make you give up the money. Cause at that point, Harvard could have really, you know what I'm saying, took over America. And if America would have attacked Harvard, everybody would have been like, why are you attacking Harvard when we're supposed to be smarter? You see what I'm saying? And that's really the conversation we having. Because the information that's locked at Harvard is this information. Like, you think they don't got them artifacts over there and shit? The top school in America don't got these artifacts that could back the shit we talking about. But to me, like I
No,
said, it's a
don't think they
perfect
do.
shit. I feel like
What
they
you
got.
mean? What artifact?
I don't think they got all of them, but I think they like if they got information on every subject. You think they don't got information on this topic we talking about? Shit.
I mean, I believe that some professors and stuff may have privy to seeing the shit, but I don't believe that they're teaching people that. No.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Just like we came across this information to me again by way of a perfect storm, and the perfect storm to me can consist of somebody saying, "Oh, your DNA came online at a certain time," or epigenetics, whatever the situation that led to this shit happening is the perfect storm. So in history, the perfect storm to even cloak our information and then take it into take it into now was them people. The same people that were so-called our enemies are the motherfuckers who essentially held onto our information for us till this time, for us to wake up, taught us all of this shit unknowingly after a while. Because, like I said, at first, it might not even been on purpose that they was trying to take our information. It's just the fact that, like, for instance, when they came with the motherfucking blankets, you know, the motherfuckers knew soon we get these niggas these blankets, they gonna die. They didn't know that shit. They didn't know that shit. They caught themselves trying to do something nice. Because we was giving them shit. And we died from that shit, and they peeped that shit like, hold on.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, smallpox. They just say smallpox. You ever heard of smallpox? And a lot of the natives died by way of their contact with the colonists. Well, that's what the whole point of the smallpox story was. They came in contact with these people, and by way of coming in contact with them, a lot of them died. No different than, the people over in North Sentinelese. They don't play about them people coming over there because a lot of their population has died after having contact with Caucasians or other ethnic groups. So with that being said, that's why when motherfuckers be like, they'll kill anybody come over there. I said, I bet money. They see another melanated or dark pigmented person. They don't know all that conversation we be having. You feel me? But they might got their own way of saying shit like that is what I meant to say. Not might. They got their own language type shit, but they know what they looking at. You see what I'm saying? They don't look like no albino or a person that's the opposite of us. So we might let this motherfucker on in here. More than likely, because you look like one of us. For all I know, you got away. You feel me? And then you coming back, because how you know we here? Nobody just busting up over here. But be that as it may. Long story short, I said all that to say, like, I feel like that shit wasn't on purpose. Like, because if we give credit for people being that diabolical, you can also essentially say they are that intelligent too. And I don't feel like they was that much more intelligent than our ancestors. Our ancestors just wasn't on some bullshit. If somebody sitting around on bullshit,
What's so diabolical about them killing them?
that's what I'm saying. They wasn't that diabolical. They killed them by accident. They killed out the natives by accident in a lot of situations. After a while, they had to fight because the natives started attacking them because they started seeing what was happening after they contacts with them. The natives started attacking they motherfucking ass. Huh?
I don't know what you're talking about. I thought we said something about them killing them.
Shit, which natives you want to talk about? They still natives. We talking about the natives of Kemet, the natives of America. The origins of the conflicts is usually, like I said, by accident. Two people try to be nice, meet up, realize they cultures conflict with each other, whether it's the culture of your biology versus mine, or shit, you want to take my shit and I feel like it don't even belong to me. Like, 'cause that's how most natives thought, like, this shit don't even belong to me. I'm thankful to the ancestors every day, for the food I get to eat and all of that type of stuff. So when they start talking to them people about taking their land, like as much as people want to say they bought the land from the natives didn't even understand that conversation. Like, you want to what? Like, nigga, don't nobody own this. Like, you cannot own this. That's what they was telling them motherfuckers. Like, you cannot own land. We can trade goods that we make by way of the shit we find on the land, but you can't own this shit. And they ain't get that shit. Matter of fact, they felt like them motherfuckers was trying to play games with them, so they said, shit, we just gonna take it then. At that point, you got a different conversation, but the origin of that shit wasn't like that. And once our numbers got so small, that's why they felt like they could take it. Like, you couldn't just take that shit when it was so fucking deep. Like, as much as we deep now, just imagine how much more people we had if so-called this many people got killed off. And even with that, I feel like that's an exaggeration to keep people in their place as long as they did. Like, if I tell you, we killed off millions of people, what the hell your little one self think you gonna come along and do? Like, shit, they killed off millions of people, what the fuck I'm gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? That's an intimidation factor. But like I was saying about them killing them people, I feel like that shit could go either way. Them people could be real or not. On some shit, they told us a story about Jesus. Jesus could be real or not. We don't know for sure. But one thing we do know is just like the Willie Lynch letter, that shit does affect black people. Black people do argue about their differences. So it might not have been that letter that caused them to argue about their differences, but we was pitted against each other because of our differences. I mean, we was pitted against each other through our differences. They like, damn, these motherfuckers so diverse. And then even that joke of y'all all look alike, that's an inside joke because they know that's gonna piss you off. Cause we like they know, like we know we diverse. So how the fuck you gonna say we all like we are unique as hell individually? Shit, take a minute. And I feel like I said, the reason why I said it could be like the Jesus story is because, you know, they tell us all this stuff about Jesus and it's really an allegory. It's not meant to be literal. It says it in the book. So when you think about that shit, they tell stories from the sense of, you know, just like the people they learned it from, a cosmological situation, like a cosmology type story. If you read a cosmology story, you would think people was crazy as fuck. But these are stories to give you morals or to teach you principles of the environment in which you live in. So, with that being said, they do stories the same way. Like they'll tell you a story, give a name to the motherfucking principles and everything, and to tell it like it's humans because that's the only thing humans a lot of times can understand what they living in. So they'll tell it in a human form. But all the while, like you said with thought, I mean, you say you feel like they actually exist, but from my understanding of what they say cosmology is for, these people really just represent principles or elements at play. So you can understand it because we're humans, so we have to anthropomorphize this shit or give it euphemisms.
So would somebody believe that ancient Egypt or a fairy tale
It's not all a fairy tale.
to make
No,
us understand the cosmos?
it's a moral story.
To make us understand the cosmos.
Yeah, everybody has a cosmology story, and just so happened our cosmology story became that of, um, I mean maybe not Thoth. I didn't mean to say Thoth. I'm talking about Ned and Geb, and
Why would they be not real, but
because
all
they
things?
represent the environment and the planet. Now who the hell did you tell me about when I got in the car though? It was somebody famous. She was like, them motherfuckers said something. You told me about MGK the other day, but then the day I got in the car, it was something about people talking about 13-year-olds. Was it people or was it an actual person that you were telling me about? Huh?
I was talking about MGK.
No, I'm talking about this morning.
I didn't tell you nothing about this morning. I told you about MGK yesterday, and
No, you
was
said
with the
somebody
13
said.
and 14-year-olds. That was all last night.
Okay, well, when I got in the car today, you mentioned something about somebody saying 13-year-olds had a body. It was guys, and you
Oh, that
mentioned
was the
Kevin
video.
Samuel
That was the
after.
video that was playing. You was hearing the video. I didn't say any of that. I promise to God. That was the
Okay,
video.
so who was they talking about before Kevin Samuel?
I don't really know. I've watched a lot of videos since then. Hold on, let me think.
That was crazy to just be over here.
Yeah, you just overheard that. That was just a video on TikTok. A girl talking about.
No, I ain't saying it. I didn't overhear it. I'm saying like I didn't go
That was a
by.
girl. She said most of you men like little girls, not women. That's how she led the video off, and then she played a clip of the niggas talking about how they, how most of these men just be out here looking at little girls and shit like they would fuck them. And the dude, she played a clip of a dude talking, and he was saying that niggas be looking at 13 and 14-year-old girls, and that's sick. That's you could be like their grandfather, or even talking about an 18-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, that's Kevin Samuels is perpetuating this story that 30-year-old women are old. So everybody that's following him is now looking at even younger women because they feel like 30-year-olds are old.
Mm.
And back in and I'm 32. When I was fucking 16, man, nigga had a 30-year-old bitch. He thought that was the rawest shit in the world. Like back when I was 19, a nigga had a 30-year-old bitch. He thought that was the rawest shit in the world. He got a vet bitch. Like now these niggas making it like my little brother called me old all the time. Like
That's what I'm saying. Like, but this the thing though with that. Like everything you saying, I've seen it.
but
But
definitely
just like what I was saying with the intelligence and shit, like you got people that's been out here doing that shit in every generation. I say, oh, it's wrong or right. I can't blanket shit no more. We know motherfucking it's wrong for an adult to fuck with a child. You feel what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to figure out is, or understand, is why are these people keep popping up every generation? You know what I'm saying?
why are what people?
Certain people that feel like that shit is okay. And I understand it's the normalcy in certain areas or pockets of people and what they, you know what I'm saying, been familiar with that leads to people thinking that shit is okay. I understand that. But I'm trying to understand what can we do to protect these girls, one, and boys, um, doing certain, like, cause I feel like kids shouldn't be around other adults outside of their mother and father. Like, and people gonna be like, you just trying to restrict the child from having a life. Man, that's your free, so-called free American life. That's what you think freedom is. Exposing yourself to shit you might not shouldn't even been exposed to. But the way that I read the Bible and I understood what they was doing, and one thing I can appreciate, they didn't have their children around other people until they was damn near in their 20s, mid-20s. Like, they was able to really interact with other people from an adult standpoint at that point. Versus being influenced by the word and then you don't even know who the fuck your child is by the time they grown. You like, I didn't teach you that, but you ain't got to, cause you done exposed them to every fucking thing else. So far as I'm concerned, if I could protect the daughters of the world the way I would like to, they would have their own space to be women during them times and not be worried about predators. To learn about their body, why their body is expressing themselves in this manner. You feel me? So they can appreciate themselves too. So when it come to getting in relationships, it's like, no, this ain't all I got to fucking offer. But even with that, this is what that really is. They'll have a more sense of an understanding of themselves other than somebody want to get in between their legs. Because that's the first time a lot of girls understand their sexuality. It's how they want to fuck them. And at that point, then they start taking care of themselves based on what this nigga want or what they don't want this nigga to say about them. Like, and to me, like, that's messed up because you just throwing her into the wolves. And the same thing with the little boys. He on time, he knows something about his sexuality is when his hormones build up so motherfucking much and he done had so much peer pressure from society, you feel me, which includes media, friends, everything. You know, little girls putting off hormones, you feel me? And he's smelling that in his senses. Like, it's so much shit that people want to try to act like don't fucking exist. And then be like, why this person doing this? Because you got this motherfucker who is reeking hormones around a motherfucker who can smell that shit, and he don't know to tell himself no. I ain't excusing that shit, but it's a lot of grown-ass kids around here because of what? Because what? What we educated by? A whole bunch of motherfuckers who we thought knew something, and then this motherfucker thought this one knew something, and this motherfucker thought this one knew something. So really, we never innately grow on our own. We're force-fed certain shit that society want us to do when we get to a certain age around this bitch. And I feel like if people was able to grow or develop innately on their own, these type of things wouldn't fucking happen. You would recognize, no, that person hasn't had the same opportunity as me to grow up and develop. That person ain't on my level. So why would I do that to them? But the fact that shit, nigga, you went through high school and you was able to do bullshit. You seen niggas pulling up to the high school. You think, shit, nigga, I can pull up to the high school too.
But we live in a matrix that's just not gonna allow that to be life.
Nigga, it's been life. That's why people are doing it. People
You
are
know what
doing
I'm
this shit because they've been able to do it.
Exactly. That's the matrix that we live in. That's why I said everything that you saying would be nice.
You can do it with your own kids. Like, if me and you had kids and we was really sticking this shit out, you know what I'm saying? Like, while I was with Alicia, my kids was not open to society. You feel me? But now, It's like, I don't got enough time to do this. I don't got, so they gotta go here. They gotta go. Like, come the fuck on, G. Like, which one is important to you? And I don't have no problem doing it, but the excuse would be, oh, they with you all the time, but I'm paying for this, or they paying for this, so what I'm gonna do when you don't want to do it? What you gonna do when they close the daycare down? You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna take my kids because daycare might close.
Having is not toddlers being molested. We talking about men, grown men who prey upon
I'm talking about
13,
period.
14, 15-year-old girls.
But I'm talking about predatory acts, period.
Who are, even if you are very sheltered, 13, 14, 15-year-olds get a moment of time by themselves where they can get preyed upon really fast because you're so impressionable.
And see, that's the thing, though. If that's the case, then actually, why even try to stop it?
4 little words will fuck you up, and you will be in a situation that you don't even know you in.
You hear me? If that's the case, then why even try to stop it?
You can try to stop it your whole life. That's what I'm saying. This is something.
No, I'm saying you making it seem like it's inevitable.
No, I'm not saying. That's what I was just about to say. I don't want to say this is out of our control, but you can't stop the predator 50-year-old man who is preying upon a 13-year-old girl unless you go kill that nigga. And we don't know him yet.
And what you think? What you think when they lock people up is? It's a form of death.
We don't know him to kill him until he's done the act.
Nah. See, that's the sad part. A lot of people don't know characteristics and don't like. We don't put enough emphasis on that shit.
Looking for that shit.
But we don't put enough emphasis on it. Like, we talk about signs and all of that shit.
I sent you. Watch this fucking video.
In a second, and finish my statement. We talk about signs and all of that shit, but then when we get the signs, we don't want to pay attention to them. So, as much as a motherfucker can say, we don't know until a motherfucker do some shit, you get gut feelings. And you done been so trained not to listen to your gut that when you get them, like, man, I'm tripping. Like I used to always say, I don't want to put that kind of lifestyle on somebody.
I was just about to say that. Oh my God. Like, you just don't want to put that type of lifestyle on somebody, but you know that shit. You said look at the characteristics. Me personally, I can look at a nigga eyes and tell he's a rapist. Every motherfucking family.
And not even just that, the precautions too, though.
That I say I don't like, they all that I told my mama this shit, man, that nigga touch girls. 4 or 5 years later, shit come out, he touching girls. Like,
and not even just that. What about the precautions too, though, that people need to be taking? Like, it's easy to blame the after the fact, because that's the after. Everybody can clearly see what happened after. You see what I'm saying? But the before, too. Why are we leaving each other up for grabs so easy? You feel me? Like, why is it so easy access to other people's children other than we live in a society?
Live in a matrix where people have to go to work. So while you go to work at between 7 and 3:30, your kid going to school 6:30 in the morning outside by themselves.
Again.
That's how kids get kidnapped all the time, walking to the school bus stop by themselves early in the morning while mommy already at work or mommy in the house getting ready for work. So it's just no time because this fucking world is set up that shit like this is possible.
But if it's important to you, you can figure it out. You can figure it out because it's not hard. Like I said, one motherfucker like y'all, like I had to make a choice. But if I was gonna go for it.
Regular ass nigga, I'm sorry, but this is a regular ass man.
You not sorry. I hate when people do that. I'm sorry, and then keep doing that. Okay, we was just having a conversation. What are you talking about?
And this pertains to the conversation.
Okay, so let me finish my statement, and you can continue like ciphering with me. You can come back and you say that, you play that if you want to. But like I said, people have to make certain decisions. Like, I had to make a decision. Do I want to? And I didn't even know I was making this decision, but I felt like something wasn't right. I said, bro, if I keep on going with this athlete shit, I'm not going to be around y'all. I'm not going to fuck with you regular niggas. Not to mention, I felt like shit, I'm out. If I'm in this light. And I had to pick, which one is more important? Family or being rich and famous? And it's really like that. Like, a motherfucker gotta pick which one is more important. Or, shit, barely surviving or making sure my kids is surviving. Because you over here killing yourself to barely survive. Talking about I need to go to work. Man, it's 2021. Just like certain shit is unacceptable, how people treat women, children, and even men and boys. Little girls and boys. It's the same thing with these jobs. You don't gotta keep taking these old-fashioned ass jobs. So it's all in what a motherfucker choose. Some people really want a break from their family. if they beef for real, they really. But go ahead.
I don't know which one to reply to, the family shit, because I got a lot to say to that. We was talking about pedophiles.
Yeah, and I was saying the precautionary, like people keep on want to talk about the predators, like it's inevitable. They can't stop these
A lot of
niggas.
people want to get away from their family because their family inhibits you in a lot of times. Like, they don't let you be you. You be in the house, you try to do something that
Who,
you
the
like.
kid?
Kids, adults, teenagers, grandparents, whoever.
That ain't your family if you're an adult feeling like you can't be yourself around a motherfucker.
Shit, that's not true. That's blood. And you be sitting in the house and you can't say things you
I'm
want to say.
saying you're
They
not
gonna look at
treating
you like,
you and them ain't treating each other like family because you shouldn't be around your own fucking family and not be able
but
to
it
be
happens.
yourself. I ain't say it didn't.
I know, I'm just saying it.
I'm saying we have to be real with ourselves. That's why these things happen.
Why people want to take breaks from their family, because
No, I
you be
get
around
it.
your family and you
I
can't
get
be
it.
yourself. Because if you around anybody who you could be yourself around, you want to be around that motherfucker 24/7.
I totally understand it because we all lived it. But we gotta be real. We gotta be real going forward and try to do something different. If we being real going forward, we know we already done that. So we gotta try to do something different, which is to actually be family. Like we been knowing what family is like for a long time, but we only been keeping up with the part of keeping track of who your family is, not keeping track of how we supposed to treat each other. Cause if we family, the whole part of protecting the kids, that go without fucking saying. And that's utmost. That's before you even try to fucking feed yourself. You protecting the kids. I don't care if I ain't ate today. You think I'm gonna be like, man, let me eat breakfast before I come out here and protect my kids. Somebody attacking my kids. You feel me? Because in hindsight or in real time, you know that's more important. But we live in a world where it's done been excused to say, you know what? It's a place for the kids to go. It's a place for me to go. I did my part. But like I said, when y'all grow apart and neither one of y'all know each other in the long run, it's no surprise when kids don't come around their parents, or when they get older, they start not respecting their parents. Cause it's like, nigga, I went through the little time I had to go through to respect you. You ain't give me nothing to respect you about, cause you didn't teach me shit. The world taught me.
I was just about to say, that's really on the children who feel like their parents ain't teach them shit or do shit for them.
I'm saying there's levels of respect. I might feel like a motherfucker disrespectful to their parent, and they might feel like they not.
Yeah, and that's true too. But that's like way almost judging to a degree. That's what I had to realize, because like me personally, me and my family, we all talk crazy to each other, but we don't cuss with each other. Every time you heard you sitting there with my brother, every time you heard a cuss word slip out his mouth, my bad mom, my bad mom. Like, that shit don't happen all the time. That was some turn. We out there excited about getting our ass beat when we was kids type shit. But I know a lot of people that sit there and cuss with their mom.
Shit, I do. My mama don't like it.
And
But it's like my grandmama. You had me around my grandmama my whole life. And not blaming my grandmama, but my grandmama showed me what being real with yourself is. Like, that's how the fuck you feel.
Like, it is levels to respect, especially when
I ain't gonna call my mama no bitch. First of all, and my mama ain't gonna act like one. Second of all, I ain't gonna call my mama no hoe. And I know that to be a fact.
Your mama out your name,
no, I'm just saying.
No,
I'm just saying it's levels. Like, people don't get it. Don't get what I'm saying as far as like the so-called cussing, because a curse word existed so-called well before your Bible that told you it's not good to curse.
Yeah, people. That's why it's a difference between cussing with and cursing at.
And I'm saying none of that shit. It's just a way of talking. It's not even real. That cursing and cussing, you can't do that shit because that was after the fact. Like, you can't tell me it's bad to curse somebody when, nigga, that wasn't even the whole purpose of using these words in the beginning. Fuck meant to fornicate under the commands of the king. That's not a bad word.
That's not how we do
it. Yeah, we are. We're fucking in a way that's deemed okay. Like, we talking about not fucking little girls. That's not okay in this society. So we're fornicating under the command of the king, which is what's deemed acceptable in this society.
I'm saying when we say, what the fuck you doing?
Okay. Even then, I'm not cursing you.
You would say that to your mama? like, what the fuck you doing?
It depends on what she doing. If I come in my room, like when my money came up missing, if I come in my room, I catch you red-handed, what the fuck you doing, bruh? Like, you just broke my heart at that point. I'm not finna fake. But I would say that to anybody else and you acting like a stranger right now. Because you know you don't got to take nothing from me. I give it to you.
I wouldn't even be able to do nothing like that to my mama.
I'm like, what the fuck is you doing? Like, that shit would really shock me. And we both need to be shocked at that point. Because like I said, it's one thing to keep track of who your family, but it's another thing to forget the fact that you're supposed to treat family like family. Fuck that. You don't get to goddamn take my money and then worry about how I said it.
No, me personally, I probably want to talk to my mom for a long time anymore. Like, literally, no words at all. That'll hurt you more than me asking you what the fuck is you doing. Bitch, I won't talk to you.
But I had a whole shoebox full of money in my room. Me and Alicia had separated for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So I know she wasn't around. Not that I would even think she was like, I mean, you know, you can't put nothing past nobody, but I ain't never had that history with her. You know what I'm saying? So, not that I think that, but wasn't nobody else there, bro. Man, I come in that mud one day after my mama told me she done clean my room. I random, like, I'm like, what? You just made me clean this mud the other day. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, huh? I'm like, all right, cool. I go in that mud, whole shoebox gone. Whole shoebox go. I go to the trash. Cause the trash people, you know, it ain't trash day yet. So I go out to the trash. That shit ain't nowhere to be found. I'm like, what's the fucking odds? I had a shoebox that I've been putting money in. Every time you cash your check, you start dropping your little change in there. Shit. Started out with just tens and fives and ones. Every now and then you mess around and have a nice little check. You drop some 20s in that motherfucker. I'm dropping them. I'm knowing I got like about 200, 300 at least in a week time that I done put back out my little check. Man, going in that shit going like I said. If I would have caught her red-handed, like even when I talked to her, I don't think I cussed. But like I said, I feel like we use these words for figure of speech at this point. Like, we got our own intentions behind the words that we use at this point. That's why I have to ask people, like, what you mean by that? Because, for so long, our people didn't even know the new definitions that they added to these words, that we was just, you know what I'm saying, using it how we knew it to be at one point in time. So, shit, fuck what they talking about. I got to ask the motherfucker to understand where you coming from. Like, how are you using that word? What the hell going on? But be that as it may, like I was saying about them predators and shit, like I feel like you right about the fact that you can't I don't know, I feel like you can change a predator. Like I feel like you can change a predator. I know some niggas that was predators in other ways, my nigga, and they changed. So you're not gonna tell me.
Talking about a predator. You're talking about pedophile.
Predator to me, same thing.
They are categorized as a predator, but predators, like you said, I know some other type of predators. A murderer can be a predator. A competitive. What is it called? A consecutive person who does a lot of things.
Right.
Consecutive robber could be a predator. That's fucking predatory behavior.
And it's a mind frame.
But we talking about people who do sexual acts upon people underage.
Okay. They predators too.
They can be healing.
Whatever you want to call it, I think you can change a mind frame. Just like I feel like, people who have been perverted, like, which that's a perversion, you feel me? Like, I feel like people who was once gay, if they decide they don't want to be gay no more, they cannot be gay. Like, the fuck? It's your choice. That's the kind of matrix we live in, too. Like, you got choices to make. And based on the choices you make, we say you are this.
If you choose to not be gay no more, you ain't really gay, you bisexual.
Call it what you want. That's like a motherfucker sitting up here saying, if a woman say she's something, you can sit there and tell her she ain't. So it's the same thing. Like, you can't tell a motherfucker if they say they not gay no more, they not gay no more. You don't get to tell them they bisexual.
Yes, the fuck I do.
And they get to tell you that's funny, but that's your life and this is mine.
And I was like,
So if you
right.
want to keep on speaking on my life, just like it's certain shit you can say about people would be considered defamation. So if I say this is my fucking life, and I prefer you don't say that, you don't get the
But
right to
it's
just
not
keep on saying.
defamation if it can be a proven fact.
Alright.
If you've had sex with, if you're a woman and you let a man
How can you
stick his
prove it,
penis
nigga?
in you,
How can you prove it?
I'm gonna get
You
the
weren't
people that you
there.
had sex with.
And that's doing too much for real though.
Because if you talk about defamation of character, we in court.
But that's
don't have
doing too much for
witnesses.
real though. You shouldn't even be worried that
How?
much about somebody's life to where if they say.
You propose defamation.
No, but I'm
defamation
saying.
is, we in court.
But I'm trying to show you
can
how
only
drastic.
say that. You can't bring the charge against me unless we go to court.
I'm
So
trying to
I'm
show
just
you
letting
how
know.
drastic you going by trying to tell somebody what they are, right?
I'm not trying
And
to
so-
tell them. I personally wouldn't say it out my mouth. I would think it in my
And
head.
that's why I
like,
said you
this
couldn't
motherfucker don't
tell
know they
somebody that.
bisexual.
That's why I specifically said you couldn't tell somebody that. And you said, yes,
Yes,
I
I
can.
can though. I can tell them that. Okay, I'm going to say it out of my mouth. If you, like I was explaining, if you're a woman
Now
and
you got to say it
had
again.
sex with
You
a man,
like,
and
what
now
are
you're
you
having
doing?
sex with women, and then you go back to having sex with men saying you're not gay no more. Like, how was you gay in the first place? You're clearly bisexual, but you're only fucking women at this time in your life. And you might do that for the
You
rest
know,
of
if
your
we
life.
really was in court, your
Or-
case would get thrown out because you just keep repeating the same shit.
I never said that the first
Yeah,
time.
you did. You just said the first time when I said
I
if a
led it
person
off and you
said they
cut me
don't
off
want to
and
be
I
gay
stopped.
no more, you say bisexual. I didn't stop you on that talk.
I mean,
You was
that's
talking.
The argument, Redrick.
But
that
I'm just
you're
saying how many times you
bisexual.
gonna repeat
I
that? Come with something new.
explained.
Come with something new though.
What do you mean come with something new? That's the whole argument. It's
Further
nothing
your
new to come with.
explanation why it justifies your life to give a fuck. If somebody say I'm not gay
I
no
don't give
more.
a fuck. I'm explaining it to you.
No, I get what you're saying.
No, you don't.
And I was
You're
one of
just
them
telling me
people that's
I can't
like,
do that.
you know what? If somebody say something, I'm gonna say this. Like, no, it ain't my motherfucking. If you want to do, if you look like a boy and you say you a girl, guess what? I don't even gotta mention you if I can't respect you enough to say you a girl. I don't gotta mention that shit. But I damn sure don't gotta come out my mouth and say, nah, dude, you a boy. I don't. That ain't, nigga. That ain't my fucking life. That nigga wanna walk around talking about he Donkey Kong. That ain't my fucking life. And I don't know what the fuck led up for this motherfucker to walk around talking about he Donkey Kong. So if I ain't finna try to help him fix that shit, fuck out of here with my opinion of what the fuck this motherfucker look like. Like you said, I can say that shit in my head to keep myself straight or whatever the fuck I think I need. Cause like my homeboy Domo say, he say, niggas act like if gay people get on TV, they gonna influence them to be gay or some shit. And so I'm like, hold on. If we use that shit in all areas though, if we use that shit in all areas, I think motherfuckers will have to shut the fuck up. Like, motherfuckers act like cause a chick get on TV naked, then all chicks gonna get on TV naked. They not. They not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? The ones who wanna do that gonna do that. The ones who don't wanna do that gonna do that. So how the fuck the ones that don't wanna do it get to talk shit about the ones who don't wanna do it? Or the ones who wanna do it get to talk shit about the ones who don't wanna do it? Like, it should be to the point like, nigga, this your fucking life. You wanna say you not gay no more cause you not doing that shit, period, no more in your life? Fuck, who am I to keep reminding you that you smoked crack before?
We all wish that life could be so easy that we could just live how we want and nobody would
I
say
think that's why
anything.
people relapse, because people keep reminding they motherfucking ass. You know you a recovering. Like, nah, nigga, I'm not on that shit no more. Like, I don't fuck around.
That's part of staying clean, beating the temptation of people telling you every day that you used to do it.
No, I'm saying that ain't a part of it. I don't think that shit helps. That's
No,
like
it does
that's like a
not help
chick
at all.
chick used to sell pussy and then she a mama and you keep on talking about, you know, you used to be a hoe. Hey, bruh.
People do that to women all the time.
And it's not. Oh, bruh. I wasn't mentioning people didn't do it. The fuck are you saying? Like, you just antagonizing the nigga for no reason. Still about sitting around talking madness, my nigga. But the nigga be sitting around talking sense. And niggas be like, yeah. Like, man, one thing I do agree with motherfuckers saying yesterday. The motherfuckers in the so-called hood community or ghetto community, they support they motherfucking leaders way better than we do. Them motherfuckers will rob, steal, kill to support them motherfuckers. But we'll goddamn make up every excuse under the sun on what's wrong with the niggas that be bringing us information. Man, look at that nigga beard. That nigga dated a stripper. I'm just saying this what niggas will do. Not niggas and not black, just black people. Yo, what?
I said I'm definitely in the hood ghetto community that support my leaders.
Nah, get the fuck out of here. Talking about.
My window got a bullet hole in it.
Man, what the fuck they gotta do with it? Man, shut up.
Ghetto.
Funny. Lucky I am in a great mood because I am lucky as hell. But what I mean by that is niggas always got an excuse for the excuse. Alright, this nigga do this, so I'm gonna keep on bringing that shit up. And it's like I said, if you sit around and keep on bringing up people's faults, how can they ever, move past that shit? Like, if they decide they ain't that no more, I don't feel like nobody got the right to keep bringing that shit up. And like I said, I had to think about that long and hard because that shit goes so many ways. Play that video. With the purple hood and Ben, I mean, you know what I'm talking about, do-rag on. Today.
I went away from it. Sorry, I had to get back to it.
Well, if you would have responded, I would have known better. What? Right, that shit hit me.
This nigga in a nice ass car.
That's how they be.
I'm telling you, creeps are real. This the nigga that's gonna follow you around and wait outside. He see you in the gas station, he gonna pump his gas and wait on you to come out. Shit like that. Look at him. He looks like a creep. He look like this mailman that I know used to know in Cleveland. And he was in Cleveland, downtown Cleveland. He was a mailman down there when I worked at Subway. And his name was creepy as fuck. Then one day he told me about how he take me home and do all this stuff to me with all these toys.
What?
Yeah, he was just like him.
He told you what he'd do to you?
Yeah.
How
I
old
kept on
was
telling him. That's probably like.
you? You kept telling who?
Subway downtown. I kept telling him I didn't want to talk to him. I had to do it. I was with my ex. I was probably like 19 and me and my ex first got together because I was working at Subway downtown.
And how old was your ex?
I was 19. My ex was 24 when we first got together. And we was together for 10 years.
That shit crazy. Yeah, just let me see that shit, dude.
Oh, I'm away from it.
I gotta do a video on that shit. I wonder if where they drop it. It's in California, ain't it? Oh hell no. Ain't that where the Amazon women be at? Used to be at. Hold on, where's the Amazon mountains at? Somebody said, hold on, didn't we watch something recently and they was like, them motherfuckers was here?
In Ohio?
Like, no, in America. Wasn't it something I watched? Bruh, I was watching something, bruh. Yes, it was something I watched. They were talking about how the Amazonian women was here.
Was
That's fire. Man, you about to fuck up my throat.
I don't know who the Amazonian women are. I thought they were in the Amazonian forest.
I'm gonna have to get out this live and find that shit, cause I swear I looked that shit up before.
And if they in the Americas, that's great. But I think they got pregnant by the summer.
And they said something about they existed closer to this time than people would think. You know what I'm saying?
I believe they still exist. I think that's what we watched recently. Something about them still existing. I know I did. They wasn't calling them Amazonian women. Remember I told you?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Quit fucking playing with me. What was it?
I don't remember. It's coming back to my mind.
Little bobblehead?
No bubblehead ass. How don't you remember it?
Cause I'm the one who remembered it to bring
You
it up.
remember the whole thing.
I did. Remember where I got it from?
Where it is they from then?
I
That's the
said.
only part you forgot.
I said here.
America? Okay, well then why we still trying to remember it?
Who can remember what a video is so we can show other people? Goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. You tweaking, bro. Who the hell was that talking about it, though? Hmm? Man, it got me hot, bro.